All right, friends, here I am, and here you are. It is Tuesday, October 19th, 2021, and I am so glad to be here, and I am so glad that you are here. Would you let me know in a comment where you are tuning in from? And I also would like to know, tell me about any animals you have. Do you have dogs, cats, birds, horses, parakeets, reptiles? Am I missing anything? Farm animals? My goodness, my household of animals is shrinking a little bit. We are down to 2 cats and 1 dog from an all-time high of 4 cats and 2 dogs. I've been very active in animal rescue, as I know some of you have and still are. I think my sister still wins the record in our family. She has 2 horses, dozens of birds, 3 or 4 cats, a dog. She is also an animal lover like I am. I would love to know if we share that. And that's a little bit of the reason for my delay this morning. My silly kitty cat, Elsie, I wonder if she will make an appearance. Well, here she is on the bed. I did not find her this morning. Did that ever happen to you where you're like, oh my gosh, where's my cat? So anyway, she's here safe and sound. My sister says that sometimes the cats go into cat space. You look everywhere and then you turn around and like, well, there they are. So whoo. Anyway, thanks, friends. Donna has 2 indoor cats and has slowly been taking on the ferals. And now she has 6 2 feet. Oh, God bless you, Donna. KP, 2 dogs, a pit box mix, and a chow wiener. Oh my goodness. Brenda, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 guinea pigs. I love guinea pigs. All rescues. I forgot to put that in the mix of the wonderful animals that grace our homes. That was one of the first pets that we had as kids. So as kids, we had a chicken, we had quail, we had a snake, and we even had a fox. Now that's a story for another day. It was a baby fox and it grew up and ran off as it should have. So that, oh, we had a turtle also. And Barb has 2 turtles. I forgot we had Myrtle the turtle. Oh my gosh, turtles are so wonderful. Okay, Janet's got dogs and chickens. Vicky, 3 Doxies rescues, and Miss Terry's got a 4-month-old German Shepherd puppy. Oh my goodness, the puppy stage is so much fun and also challenging, isn't that? But those German Shepherds are so darn smart. Oh, well, I figured that there were a lot of animal lovers on board here as well. A friend of mine has a Great Dane and a turtle. I haven't seen the friend for a while, but it was amazing how the 2 would play with each other, the turtle and the Great Dane. And that turtle would start to run after the Great Dane, and the Great Dane would be rolling. It was just lovely. Maria's down to 1 parakeet, and but she loves dogs. Jane fostered 2 horses. Oh my goodness, Andrea, your doggy has passed over the Golden Bridge. The Rainbow Bridge, I'm sorry, the Rainbow Bridge. Yes, that is so hard to say goodbye to our family members like that. Friends, I want to talk about this morning, and I do thank everyone here, and I thank you also for giving a like to the video. Hopefully you're all subscribed. That helps YouTube get my videos out to more people, and I want to congratulate you. It's working. I started the Healthy American Morning, and that's what we're talking about today, with 127 subscribers, 127,000. I think we are at 132. I do need to remind myself this is a sponsored show. Give me just a moment while I thank the sponsor of the Healthy American Morning, and these are my friends over at Keto with Peggy. There we are, ketowithpeggy.com. So the message I have for you is that a study reveals some shocking facts about weight loss. The Cat Dog Cat, I don't think I can say that agency. My videos get flagged. It's they say that 49.1% of adults in the US are obese. Nearly half the country struggles with weight. How can that be? That's because the usual advice for weight loss doesn't always work. The secret isn't just to stay active or watch your diet. Here you've got the secret in Keto with Peggy. This product actually has helped me lose weight quicker than anything I've ever tried. And I routinely take a few scoops, and that helps me melt fat, tone my muscles, and reduce cravings. And I highly recommend Keto with Peggy. You can try it today for 51% off by going to ketowithpeggy.com. You can see it right here, ketowithpeggy.com. Friends, it is a powder. I just mix it in my coffee. You can put it in smoothies. Sometimes I just put it in water and I drink it. And it's, for me, it's like a daily insurance that I'm getting what I need. And it tastes delicious. I'm not a person who believes in dieting. We will be talking about that on this show as well. But over the last year, the previous year, the first year of the hogwash, I actually gained, oh my gosh, at least 15, I would say 15 pounds. And I think some of it was stress eating. And then some of it was just being inactive, because I'm a swimmer and I work out in the water and I walk, and all these things were no longer available to me. So coupled with the change in my activity, the change in my eating habits, and the change in my emotional world, I'll just put it that way, I gained weight. Now, I told you in a previous show that it took me about a year to put on that weight. I'm giving myself a year to take it off, because I don't want to put the pressure. I find that when I relax, the weight melts more easily. And when I pressure myself, that is where it causes more stress, and then more stress eating, and it's just one big cycle. Let me know in a comment if you are interested in my Stop Stress Eating program. I created that in the first part of, like, into the sensation of what we're in a 2020, to help people who are reaching out to me saying, Peggy, I'm stuck at home. I'm not working. I've got my kids at home and I'm going crazy and I'm putting on weight because I'm stress eating. So I created a program called Stop Stress Eating, and it's fun. It's a video program. If you're interested, let me know. I will reopen up the doors and we can go through that together. Goodness knows I can brush up on some of those tips as well. What I want to talk to you about and talk with you about today is holding grudges. I have an interesting story, and this is based on an email that I got yesterday from someone who works at Southwest Airlines. Now, some of you are going to be glad that I'm opening up this conversation to talk about what's going on in our world, because normally, Peggy to the rescue, not normally, always, we are about positivity and possibility. And I want to talk about being positive in the face of the storm. I want to tell you what happened to me on Southwest Airlines and what has come full circle a year and a half later. I didn't even plan this, but the Lord planned it. He used me in it. And the Holy Spirit moved me in certain ways. Now, some of you are like, Peggy, there you go again, making this show all religious. I love you, but I'm not here for you to preach to me. I get it. So when I use words like the Holy Spirit, you can replace it with whatever makes sense to you. Maybe you have your own conscience given to you by God. Maybe you have your own truth, or the universe told you to do something. I understand. I really do. So I'm speaking from my perspective, and my perspective is that I am guided and inspired and protected and directed by God through the Holy Spirit, speaking to me, counseling me, convicting me. And when I pray and when I listen, I receive those urgings more vividly. I'll just put it that way. So that's the phrase I'm going to use. And I want to tell you what happened. I was going to try to find these Southwest videos, which happened a year, and let's see, it was June of 2020. It might have been July, the end of June. And I was looking to see if I could find them. I know they are over at peggyhall.tv. I wonder if they are also over on BitChute. It's possible they still live there. And the thing is, those videos had to come down off of this channel, because this channel and YouTube has community standards that I seek to abide by. And some people criticize me for that. And they're like, Peggy, why are you on YouTube? And I'm saying, why are you on YouTube? You're watching me on YouTube, asking me why I'm on YouTube. I love YouTube. Let me explain. I love YouTube because it is a search channel, a search engine, which means if someone types something into an internet search, YouTube videos will appear. BitChute videos will not appear. Facebook videos will not appear because they are not part of a search engine. My goal in life is to shine God's light of truth, especially to those living in darkness. So if those living in darkness are here on YouTube, I want to reach them. So I think it is a win-win. And I even did a video called Why Am I on YouTube? Now, I have, oh my gosh, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on BitChute. So this would go back many videos. I don't even have time to scroll through all of that. But if you want to see if my Southwest videos are on BitChute, it's kind of interesting to watch those. I have 3 or 4 videos as to what happened to me. Now, we are going to keep this in a positive realm, but I do want to speak a little bit about what I went through, and then come full circle as to what I went through just last week and how God blessed me and used me to bless others. And let me know in a comment below, has that happened to you? Have you ever had a situation where you were going through some sort of trial and trauma and setback, and you thought, oh Lord, why are you putting me through this? And I love that one of our Healthy Americans said, Peggy, let's remind everybody that this didn't happen to you. It happened for you. And that just knocked my socks off. It's like, oh, that is a wonderful new way to look at things. So what happened to me, and for those of you, let me take a quick look at our stream here to see what folks are saying. And I'm so glad that you are, oops, sorry about that. A little bit of feedback going on. I'm so grateful that you are here. And Janet says she remembers me being at the airport and the guidelines changing to force the slavery device. She calls it the slavery device. Friends, can I have a like from you if you have not done so yet? We have over 100 people watching. I would love to have 100 likes so that others can see this. It will show up as a live video as people are searching through YouTube. Thanks for helping that thumbs up climb. Welcome on board, everyone. Shelley said, you're definitely shining God's light in the darkness. Thank you so much. Rose reminds us that the Lord works out all things for our good. And also, what is intended for evil, God uses for good. And I think this is where I'm going to go with grudges. So let's take a break for a second before I continue that story. And I would like to know if you know anyone who is holding a lifelong grudge. Maybe you have a grudge against someone. I have a couple of examples to share with you today. I had a lovely aunt and uncle who held grudges against each other for the end of their life. The rest of their life, they never saw each other in their final months and years. And I don't know all the ins and outs of what happened there, but from an outsider, now maybe the bridge was so wide and there could not be a gap made. I don't know. I do not know what happened. I do know that God calls us to forgive. I do know that forgiving is so difficult, but there's even a difference in my mind between forgiveness and holding a grudge. You can let go of the grudge even if you haven't forgiven them. What do you think a grudge is? Can you give me a descriptive word of a grudge? For me, it's immovable. You never give in. Not only do you never give in, but you are aware of it. Maybe frequently, maybe even constantly, and you talk about it and your energy goes there. So the grudge is something that is alive and well, and you're feeding and you're talking about it, and you can see it, you can feel it. To me, that's what a grudge is. It's an actual physical obstacle. Whereas unforgiveness might just be something in the back of your mind. You don't think of it that much. It may not come up too frequently. And you just once in a while, you remember it and there's a little bit of a sting or a hurt. And you're like, oh, I need to forgive that person or resolve that issue. To me, that's different than a grudge. A grudge is an active, constant. Let's see what you guys have. Trisha has a grudge against the fiance. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. There's a lot of grudges here. Rose is telling us, Elizabeth, yes, they never get over something. A grudge causes a bitter root to grow. And the Bible says that bitterness rots the bones. Envy rots that. Envy we'll talk about another time. I like that. A grudge means you don't budge. So I want to talk about grudges. We'll be talking about forgiveness. And if you need that, I want to remind you of the complimentary enrollment for you, waiting for you today over at peggyhall.tv. What I mean by complimentary enrollment is complimentary video series, and it's called How to Heal Broken Relationships. I would like to know if you've watched that. It's a 30-minute it's a 90-minute 3-part series, 30 minutes roughly of 3 videos. That is my gift to you from me and my husband, Pastor David. The first part of that video is releasing intense emotions. The second 2 parts of the video are diving into forgiveness. I'm not talking about forgiveness today. I'm talking about the grudges, where it's something alive and active and you're engaged in it and it's the forefront of your mind, and it's literally a mountain that you can't go around because it's in front of you. Whereas unforgiveness might be like a little pebble in your shoe that bothers you from time to time. That's how I interpret it. Your interpretation may be different. So I want to talk about something that I've witnessed in my life, and I've seen these grudges. And interestingly, my husband and his family, he noticed a lifelong grudge that he didn't even know about until near the end of a loved one's life. And it was like, oh my goodness, what a sad state of affairs that there was this divide that could not be conquered. Not that you have to be best friends and hang out with them and kiss and make up and everything's forgotten. No, to me, that's not what a grudge is. A grudge is taking the boulder off your shoulders. A grudge is you not walking around with that big boulder on your shoulders where you can't even walk, and you yourself are crippled because you can't walk, you can't see, you're carrying this boulder. Set the boulder down. It's still there, but why are you carrying it? So let me talk about this potential for a grudge and how I dealt with it. So hang on to your hats, everybody. We're going to just dip our toe into the water of current events, but it is based in my PMO, my positive mental outlook. And that is, I would like you to help me come up with a phrase that encapsulates the teaching I'm about to share with you. So you're about to hear a very brief encapsulation of what I went through and what I know many of you have gone through. And for me, this was back in I'll just say the summer of 2020. And I had called 3 different times to make a reservation with Southwest Airlines. I'm going to make it very short because the bigger part of the picture is what comes later. I was assured that I'd be able to fly on the plane without any restrictions. We show up at the airport. We are unable to get on the flight. They refund our money. I did a series of videos all about it. I was shocked. And this was before the scams were even required. Remember, I don't use the M word other than illegal measure. This was before the illegal measure was even put into place. So I thought I was going to have smooth sailing. And you know me, I'm cheerful and confident, and I'm walking right there, and I was just flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what in the world? And this was back in the day when people were doing a lot of videos of them getting kicked off flights, but everybody said Southwest is the best. So what happened to me is I made these videos. They went viral. I think I got a lot of heat and hate because the video showed up on Reddit and Twitter and all these places where they were calling me names. And I don't really care about that. I only care about God's truth. Frankly, when people criticize me, I'm a human being. I think we all can feel the sting of criticism. The difference is when you focus on it, you claim it, you let it impact you so you no longer take action. So to me, it's like a little buzzing mosquito. I swat it away and I keep moving ahead. I just focus on serving the Lord, serving God, sharing God's light of truth. That is what keeps me going. It's like having a lantern, and I'm leaving all the darkness behind me. And I also use that analogy of people pulling on my ankles, pulling me underwater. And instead of stopping and telling them, stop pulling on my ankles, I just kick harder and I swim faster and I leave them in the dust. It doesn't always work as smoothly as I'm saying, but that's the outlook and the attitude that I take, is I am moving ahead. And maybe that's a good PMO for today, is I am going to focus on moving ahead. I am just going to move ahead. I'm not going to stay stuck and mired in this. I will take care of it. I will expose it for what it is, and then I'm going to move ahead. That's the difference between destruction and construction. Evil carries within its own self the seeds of destruction. Evil will self-destruct. We've seen it again and again. It may not be as fast as we would like, and it may not be on our time frame that we would like, but evil is a destructive force, period. Evil cannot create. Only God can create, and God has created us, and we are creative beings. My go-to remedy when I'm faced with a situation is, how do I create something better? How do I build something out of this? Where can I go from here? This happened, now what? Please go back and watch the previous 25 episodes of the Healthy American Morning. And that is where I talk about my PMO, my positive mental outlook, taking control of my thoughts, guarding my heart so that I will not allow evil to pull me under the waves. I want to keep my head above the waves, and I want to find smoother sailing, brighter days ahead. They are out there. One of the key ways that I do this, when I'm faced with the potential of carrying a grudge, which I could in this case, I'm never flying Southwest again. And people said, Peggy, are you suing Southwest? And I said, no, I'm not. And they said, what? You, the Healthy American, you're not suing Southwest? Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Why don't you bring down this giant company? Here's what happened. After my videos came out, I heard from several lovely Healthy Americans who work for Southwest. And a couple of them said that they themselves had an ongoing lawsuit against Southwest for discrimination. One was for discrimination based on a medical disability. And she told me that her attorney was gung-ho out of the gate, filed the lawsuit, and then it languished. She believes that the Southwest attorneys influenced her attorney, and it just dragged out. Oh, by this time it had been going on for over 4 years. And when she told me that, I thought, I have a choice to invest my time, my energy, my effort, my resources, my mental capacity, the hours I have in a day. I can dedicate that toward fighting against Southwest for years, potentially. Or I could turn my attention toward building something better. And that's where I spoke a lot about creating a new airline. Now, I know I'm not the only one that had that idea. I was one of the early voices promoting it because it made sense to me. And new airlines have come on board. We have one here in Southern California called SetJet. You know, like Jet Set? SetJet. SetJet allows you to fly naturally, I'll just put it that way, without any restrictions. My sister flew from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. They also fly to Phoenix. They fly to San Francisco. And then I think there are other tiers of service that you can apply for or pay for. So it's a type of private jet, but it's more affordable. She paid $400 for a one-way ticket to Vegas, which is probably, I don't know, $120 normally. It was worth it to her. Now, I have gotten in the car and I've driven to Phoenix and I've driven up and down the state of California because I will not fly under those restrictions. I simply won't do it. So I consciously made a choice. Am I going to hold this grudge against Southwest? Am I going to invest my time, energy, effort, resources, money, limited hours of the day? Or do I want to serve my Healthy Americans? Do I want to build something? Do I want to create something rather than destruct something or destroy something? That is a choice that I made. And to me, it sounds like when someone is holding a grudge, they are choosing to keep that boulder right in front of them, to hoist the boulder on their shoulder and to carry that boulder around with them. Whereas deciding, okay, perhaps we don't see eye to eye here. I'm not going to fight any longer to get this person to agree with me or to apologize to me or any of that. But I consciously am going to set that boulder down, or better yet, why not get out your hammer and chisel away that boulder and create something of beauty? That's what I would do. I would focus on creating rather than destroying. Create new relationships. Okay, so maybe that relationship isn't working for you. Let it go. But why hold the grudge? Here's another analogy. You've got a giant container, a giant urn or bowl or pot of grains of sand or little grains of rice. Let's use rice. Each grain of rice represents energy that you have, or time, or resources in your life. Some of you are taking handfuls of that rice and throwing it at the person that you're holding a grudge at. And you're giving away all that energy, all those resources, all your hours in the day, and you're throwing them. And in the Bible, it's called casting pearls before swine. I would rather carefully decide where my grains of sand are going to go. I'm using some of my grains of sand this morning with you. This half an hour that I spend with you, I'm choosing to do that. It's uplifting to me, and I hope to you. It is encouraging to me. It helps me feel better. It gives me a strong footing. Yes, I could spend this half an hour giving nasty comments on social media and trying to see, who the evildoers are. And I could do that. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll spend a few of my grains of rice over there in the negativity. But why in the world would I take handfuls and throw it at the grudge? I'm not going to do that. So I consciously decided not to sue Southwest. I didn't pat myself on the back. Look, I'm the bigger person. I didn't do any of that. It was my own decision that's done. They actually refunded my money. I figured that's a battle for someone else. I am going to focus on finding a new airline. And the other, so let's come to the current day, shall we? Many employees from Southwest reached out to me because I am helping hundreds, thousands, millions of people through all of my free videos. And also I have some concierge resources. Southwest employees reached out to me saying, Peggy, you are the leader in teaching about religious exemptions. Please help us. Look at this form that we have from Southwest. So I decided last week to do a complimentary Peggy to the rescue, specifically for Southwest and all airline employees, using Southwest as an example. That video is going on, 30,000 views. The video I did for Kaiser has 150,000 views and probably even more. Even though I used Kaiser as an example and Southwest as an example, what I teach is about Title VII of the US Civil Rights Act. It applies to everyone in every industry. But here's what I want to share with you. I did this for Southwest, and the most interesting thing of all, friends, I so was not holding a grudge that when Southwest reached out to me, it didn't even occur to me. It didn't even enter my mind until I was in the middle of doing the video. And I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Southwest is the flight that kicked me off. That's the airlines that kicked me off. I could have said, forget it. You guys didn't help me. You discriminated against me last year. Why should I help you? Why would I ever help you? I could have done that, couldn't I? I very easily could have said, well, seriously, you're asking me? You kicked me off the flight. Did you forget how you treated me a year ago? Now you're coming around asking for help? I didn't do that. It didn't even occur to me to do that. But I did have a glimmer of, what is the word I'm searching here for, friends? Of validation. I actually felt grateful that now these same employees were experiencing, I wasn't glad that they were experiencing discrimination. I was grateful that they now understood how someone like me and their other passengers felt. So now they had a chance to develop empathy. Empathy is actually at the root of letting go of the grudges. Empathy is an advanced emotion, in my view, that takes time to develop. Empathy is where you can feel for the person and what they're going through. I actually felt for these Southwest employees because they're being discriminated against. And I know what it's like to be discriminated against. And perhaps it's an opportunity for them to experience empathy for me and for others. Possibly the ones that were very hard line are not the ones asking for these exemptions. So that occurred to me also, that I understand those may not be the ones that are actually asking for my help. But here's what I want to share with you. I have an amazing, are you ready? we're going to finish up with this. I have an amazing email that came from a Southwest employee. I've had many comments. If you watch that video, you'll see all of the comments. Let me know if you were on that live. And I want you to be on the live this afternoon at 3 p.m. I am going to reveal what some law firms are doing to coach your employers to deny your exemption. And if you're here this morning, maybe you're not working at a company. Maybe you have a loved one who is being harassed and intimidated and having their personal liberty violated. I want you to watch this. I'm going to show you, and I'm quite indignant. I will be indignant, meaning just bent out of shape. I got really bent out of shape yesterday on my Peggy to the Rescue. You know what? That's what Peggy to the Rescue is all about. I can rant a little bit there. For the Healthy American morning, I want to stay uplifted and positive. So let me share with you this very positive note that came through the email. And I'm just so grateful to hear from my friends over at Southwest. So let me find this here. And I just absolutely love this. All right. I am going to, well, hang on one second. I'm going to keep it private. But what I would like to do is do this. I'm actually going to show it to you. Lest you think you wouldn't think I'm making this up. Okay, so let me share. I just think this is, well, I'm going to keep it private, but I'll tell you what it says. I'll just quickly show you that it's an actual email. Here we go. It's an actual email that came in that says, "Dear awesome Peggy, I love you." And then it says, "You are famous here at Southwest Airlines, and we all love you. You have done us all such a great service." Well, actually, I need to show it to you. I just think this is stunning. All right. "You are famous here at Southwest Airlines, and we all love you. You have done us all such a great service. We are all angry and deflated. Even the pro-needle crowd is outraged at the measure. Your video changed the company's position slightly. They softened their posture on the exemptions. Unpaid leave has been removed." And that's what I was showing, is that it's illegal to put someone on unpaid leave. "If the exemption is denied, we can change it up and we can resubmit it. Now, if we miss the deadline, we're still allowed to work until it's approved. It is my understanding that you are responsible for that for us." I'm speechless. I know of a handful of my coworkers whose job you have saved. Prior to your video, they were just going to go ahead and be terminated. The company's previous stance left them with no hope for an exemption. Being so deflated, they just threw in the towel and gave up. If you ever need a friend, you have thousands over here. God bless you. Yes, God has blessed me. God has blessed me with all of you wonderful, healthy Americans. God has blessed me with this work to do of spreading his light of truth. God has blessed me with the ability to set aside the grudge, a potential grudge. And I never even wagged my finger. I never even said, "Well, how do you like it now?" I never did any of that. It actually surprises me that it didn't even occur to me to do that. I was focused on serving this population with the truth. I'm actually shocked at myself that I didn't get bent out of shape over it. I wanted to share this with you today to give you hope, to know that God will bless you when you honor him. I am humbled. I am grateful. I am thankful. Every morning, thank you, Lord, for trusting me with this work. Thank you for calling me to do this work. Now, those that are on board with me, I thank you for your support as well. I could not do it without you. And I thank all of those Southwest employees for standing up for their rights. There is always redemption. Some of those Southwest employees, likely because there were thousands of them, some of them may have been the ones that enforced the previous measures and now realized I was too hard line. And now that it's come down to me, I'm going to have an awakening in my God-given soul. I pray that's the case. So I am thrilled with this experience. I had a previous one a long, long time ago. I worked briefly for a hotel where I was a health and wellness expert for the hotel. And it was such a wrong fit for me. Here I was, I was coming with a certain type of ability and professionalism to share, and the hotel did not have the same values. And it was very clear that it was just not a fit. There was a lot of friction, and I could not wait to no longer work there. So I after I stopped working there, and it was a lovely hotel in Southern California, a brand name hotel, a gorgeous location, and on the snooty side, right? A little on the snooty, understand that, I'm sure. It just was not a good fit for me. I had good experiences with many of the guests, but the management and I did not see eye to eye. And what I had to offer, I felt was not a match with the way they wanted to operate. All right. Shortly thereafter, I was hired to be a keynote speaker at that hotel at a great deal more amount of money for a group that valued what I had to offer, and actually spoke there a couple of times. So there I am back on the hotel grounds, and I could have held a grudge again. I could have said, I'm never stepping foot at that hotel ever again. No, I just let it go. And God blessed me with this incredible opportunity to speak in front of many more people, offering my gifts and skills and talents and what I had to share, my information and knowledge and encouragement and coaching. And I remember standing there thinking, this is so wonderful, Lord. Thank you for blessing me in this way. If you're holding a grudge, or you know someone who is, there's so much time and energy and effort that is put into that. Just setting the boulder aside or walking around it or taking it off your shoulder frees up so many more opportunities that you may not have been aware of because all you saw was that boulder. My heart grieves for those that died holding these grudges in their hearts. Again, letting go of the grudge is different than complete forgiveness. I have a very unique view on forgiveness. And it's interesting because my husband, who is a pastor, and he teaches on forgiveness. And if you watch that complimentary 3-part series, you'll see all about what he says, and you'll see what I say. And there are steps that need to be taken before forgiveness, genuine forgiveness, can be attained, in my view. I'll just leave it at that. You can watch the videos and learn about that. And I'm going to sign off. I need to hop on over. I'm about to hop on over to Facebook, of all places, because many of you are asking me to, many of you are on Facebook, and on Facebook, I can rant a little bit more, and I can actually, strangely, I can speak a little bit more freely on Facebook. They're not targeting me like they had been doing on YouTube. So on YouTube, I'm a little more squeaky clean. Tamara says, God tells us to pick our battles. Doug says, US Freedom Flyers are great. Doug, I am consulting. They've asked me to consult with them over at US Freedom Flyers. Now, here's what's interesting. Well, maybe I won't speak too openly about that. Let's just say that they asked me to share my information because some of the information they got previously was not adequate. I'll just leave it there. And I thank you for that. And it's not necessarily US Freedom Flyers that said that, but it was somebody who belongs to that group. So I'll just leave it at that. They wanted more of my expertise because they've recognized all of the work that I've done. And that really is my area of specialty. And I've got attorneys asking me about this. I'm sorry, I don't have any attorneys to recommend. And the reason why is I have not yet, if and when I have a successful lawsuit that's gone through, and these attorneys have allowed me to recommend them and refer them, I will do so. At this point, that's not yet the case. So Laura says it's like the prodigal son. We must rejoice when someone finally finds the truth, no matter how long they wandered from the path or how much harm they have caused. We must take them into the fold. Thank you, Laura, for reminding me of that very powerful story in the Bible, the prodigal son. And the father had a party. And the other son's like, wait a minute, I stayed here and worked the whole time. This guy went off partying. I'm summarizing. And you're welcoming him back. Yes, that is what it's like. And I'm getting chills. There are so many gifts to be experienced. Not that we're doing it for the results and not that we're doing it for the gifts, but this is how God blesses us. So we've got someone in Puerto Rico, Moreno, welcome on board. Oh my gosh. What is the link to your Facebook page? It is, so you're going to go to Facebook. Let me type that in real quick. Oops. Thank you to all the moderators today. Facebook.com. And then you're going to do Peggy.Hall1. And that should take you right over there. I'm also on Instagram. Instagram is the Healthy American Peggy Hall. I've got some wonderful videos on Instagram that you can view. And if you just want a one-stop shop for everything, that is peggyhall.tv. Thank you to everyone who came on the stream a little bit later. If you could give me a like, that will help that video, this video, get out into the stream of others on YouTube so they can see it. So yes, it is gorgeous today in Southern California. It is a picture perfect fall day. I know people think that California does not have seasons. To my experience, fall is the most visible change in seasons. There's a change in the smell, in the temperature, in the sun, in the climate. We actually have trees that change color. I love the fall season. It's beautiful, and it kicks off the series of holidays and family time together. All right, Donna's asking, where does everyone catch the Zoom? I am on YouTube. I don't see any other likes. Donna, somebody said that if you're on your phone or on the computer, you have to minimize the chat function. And then the button for the thumbs up, and I can see it climbing. Thank you, everybody, is visible when you do that. And thank you, Paris. Thank you for enjoying it today. And KP and who have we got today? Doug, thank you. Nice to see you this morning. Thank you for being on board. It really helps to keep the stream going, and love having all of you healthy Americans. I've said it before. I'll say it again. What am I going to say? You are smart. I started to say sassy. Yes, you are smart, sassy, supportive, and savvy. Let's come up with some more adjectives with the S word. I'm snarky sometimes, but I try to keep it positive here in the morning. Catch me this afternoon, 3 p.m., Peggy to the rescue. I am going to reveal these bullet points of what law firms are teaching employers to do. It is stomach turning. It probably will come with a vomit warning. I have not had a vomit warning in some time. So thank you, everybody. Big hugs to you all. I love our Healthy American morning get-togethers. And this is where you need to, well, you don't need to. This is where I love to share and hear from you what you're sharing. Tips and tools and techniques and resources and remedies and solutions and strategies to keep our head above the waves in the stormy seas of life, so we will find smoother sailing and brighter days ahead. I would have it no other way. Love starting my morning with you, friends. I'm about to hop on over to Facebook, so please see me there. If not, I'll see you back on this channel in the very next video.